Taylor Swift walked onto that stage at 19 years old, thinking her dreams were coming true. 30 seconds later, Kanye West would storm the stage and say, "I'ma let you finish," but that moment would change both their lives forever and create one of the biggest feuds in music history. It was September 13th, 2009, at Radio City Music Hall in New York City. The MTV Video Music Awards was in full swing, and the energy in the arena was electric. Celebrities packed the venue, cameras were rolling, and millions watched from home. Nobody knew they were about to witness one of the most shocking moments in award show history. Taylor Swift arrived at the 2009 VMAs as country music's crossover sensation. At just 19 years old, she had already sold millions of albums and was nominated for Best Female Video for You Belong With Me. She was wearing a sparkly silver dress, her signature curly blonde hair cascading over her shoulders. She was excited, nervous, and hopeful. This was her first VMA nomination, and she desperately wanted to win. Backstage before the show, she told a friend, "I just want to enjoy tonight, whatever happens. This is already a dream come true." She had no idea how true those words would become, and not in the way she imagined. When the time came for Best Female Video, the nominees were some of the biggest names in music: Beyoncé for Single Ladies, Kelly Clarkson, Katy Perry, Pink, and Taylor Swift. The presenter opened the envelope, and Taylor heard the words that every artist dreams of hearing. And the winner is Taylor Swift. The camera caught her reaction perfectly. Her mouth fell open in genuine shock. Her hands flew to her face. She looked around as if to make sure they really meant her. The crowd erupted in applause as she made her way to the stage, climbing the steps carefully in her heels, clutching her silver Moon Man trophy like it was made of gold. Taylor reached the microphone, still visibly overwhelmed with emotion. She began her acceptance speech with the innocent excitement of a teenager living her dream. "I always wondered what it would be like to maybe win one of these someday, but never actually thought it would happen. I sing country music, so thank you so much for giving me a chance to win a VMA award." She was smiling, genuine and sweet, speaking directly from her heart. The audience was smiling with her, sharing in this beautiful moment of a young artist achieving her dreams. And then everything changed. From the audience, a figure suddenly bounded up the stage steps. It was Kanye West, wearing sunglasses and holding a bottle wrapped in a brown paper bag. He walked straight up to Taylor, took the microphone right out of her hand, and began speaking to the stunned audience. "Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'ma let you finish, but Beyoncé had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time." The arena went silent. It was the kind of silence that only happens when something so unexpected occurs that the human brain needs a moment to process what just happened. Taylor stood there, frozen, the trophy still in her hands. Her expression shifted from joy to confusion to hurt in a matter of seconds. Cameras caught it all. Kanye handed the microphone back to Taylor and walked off stage to a mixture of boos and confused applause. Taylor stood at the microphone, speechless, trying to continue her speech but clearly too shocked to form words. The music started playing, the signal that her time was up, and she walked off stage without finishing her speech, without having her moment, without the closure that every award winner deserves. Behind the scenes, reactions were immediate and intense. Beyoncé was shown on camera, looking genuinely upset and uncomfortable. She was shaking her head, clearly not wanting to be part of this moment. Jay-Z, sitting next to Beyoncé, put his head in his hands. Pink was caught on camera, saying something that lip readers later interpreted as expressing her disgust at Kanye's behavior. Taylor made it backstage, and that's when she broke down. She was crying, not understanding what had just happened or why anyone would do that to her. Later that night, when Beyoncé won Video of the Year for Single Ladies, she did something that showed her true character. During her acceptance speech, she paused and said, "I remember being 17 years old, up for my first MTV award with Destiny's Child, and it was one of the most exciting moments in my life, so I'd like for Taylor to come out and have her moment." The crowd erupted in applause as Taylor came back on stage. She was given the chance to finish her speech, to have her moment, thanks to Beyoncé's graciousness. But the damage was done. The moment had been stolen, and no amount of do-overs could give Taylor back that original feeling of pure, unmarred joy. Within minutes, the incident was everywhere. Social media exploded. News outlets interrupted their regular programming to discuss what had happened. The reactions were almost universally against Kanye. President Barack Obama was caught on a hot mic calling Kanye a jackass for what he did. Celebrities lined up to defend Taylor and criticize Kanye. Even people who didn't particularly like Taylor's music agreed that what happened was wrong. Kanye became instant public enemy #1 in the eyes of millions of people. In interviews later, Taylor revealed how deeply the incident affected her. She was 19 years old, having what should have been one of the best nights of her life, and instead she felt humiliated on national television. "I was standing on stage and I was really excited because I had just won the award," she later told Oprah. "And then I was really excited because Kanye West was on stage. And then I wasn't excited anymore." She described feeling like Kanye was saying her achievement didn't matter, that she didn't deserve to be there. For a young artist still finding her confidence, it was devastating. That night, in her hotel room, she cried. She called her mother. She questioned whether she belonged in the music industry, if something like this could happen to her. Kanye, for his part, initially seemed to not fully grasp the magnitude of what he had done. He posted a blog that night that seemed more defensive than apologetic, but as the backlash mounted, even he couldn't ignore it. He issued multiple apologies, called Taylor personally, and even took a self-imposed exile from the spotlight. In later interviews, Kanye admitted he had been drinking that night, and that his emotions about Beyoncé not winning got the better of him. But he also suggested that he wasn't entirely wrong about the quality of Beyoncé's video. The apologies felt incomplete to many people. The damage to his reputation was severe. Ironically, the incident had opposite effects on both artists' careers. For Taylor, it created a massive wave of sympathy. People who had never listened to country music started buying her albums just to support her. Her next album, Speak Now, became one of her biggest successes. She later wrote a song that many believed was about the incident, showing that she had learned to turn her pain into art. For Kanye, his reputation took a serious hit. He was already known for controversial statements, but this crossed a line. Corporate sponsors backed away. Radio stations were hesitant to play his music. It took years for him to fully recover in the public eye. What many people don't realize is that the 2009 VMA incident was just the beginning of a complicated relationship between Taylor and Kanye that would span years. They eventually reconciled, with photos of them hugging at award shows and Kanye claiming Taylor was a friend. But in 2016, Kanye released the song Famous with the controversial lyric, "I made that buck famous," referring to the VMA incident. This reignited their feud, especially when Kanye claimed Taylor had approved the lyric. Taylor denied this, and Kanye's wife Kim Kardashian released edited phone recordings that seemed to contradict Taylor's story. The drama continued for years, with each side having supporters who believed their version of events. The VMA incident became more than just a moment between two celebrities. It became a cultural touchstone that people referenced for years. It spawned countless memes, including the "I'ma let you finish" format that people used to humorously interrupt all kinds of statements. It became a shorthand for rudeness, for mansplaining, for taking credit away from someone else's accomplishment. It sparked important conversations about how women in the music industry are treated, about racial dynamics in award shows, and about the cult of celebrity behavior. Looking back at that night in 2009, several lessons emerge. First, actions have consequences. 30 seconds of poor judgment followed Kanye West for over a decade. Despite his musical genius, many people never forgave him for that moment. Second, grace under pressure matters. Beyoncé's decision to give Taylor her moment showed true class and made Beyoncé even more beloved by fans. Third, resilience is powerful. Taylor took what could have been a career-defining humiliation and turned it into fuel for even greater success. What often gets lost in discussions of the incident is the very real psychological impact on Taylor. She was a teenage girl who had worked her entire young life for that moment, and it was taken from her on live television. In later interviews, she revealed that she developed anxiety about award shows. She would worry that something similar might happen again. Every time she won an award, part of her was waiting for someone to tell her she didn't deserve it. This kind of public humiliation, especially at such a young age, can have lasting effects. It's a testament to Taylor's resilience that she continued to attend award shows and accept accolades. Over the years, both artists have had their own forms of redemption. Kanye continued to make groundbreaking music, and eventually some of the anger at him subsided, though the incident remains a permanent part of his legacy. Taylor became one of the biggest pop stars in the world, proving that she belonged on that stage and deserved every award she ever won. In a strange way, both of them are forever linked by those 30 seconds. It's impossible to tell the story of either artist's career without mentioning the 2009 VMAs incident is taught in communications classes as an example of crisis management. It's discussed in music history as a pivotal moment in both country pop crossover and hip-hop culture. Most importantly, it remains a reminder that in the age of social media and instant communication, a single moment can define decades of perception. That night at the VMAs, a 19-year-old Taylor Swift learned a harsh lesson about fame, that your biggest moments can be interrupted, that not everyone will celebrate your success, and that sometimes the cruelty of the spotlight is as real as its glory. Kanye West learned a different lesson, that talent alone isn't enough if your behavior alienates the people who support you. And the rest of us learned that sometimes the most memorable moments at award shows aren't the planned speeches or performances, they're the unexpected seconds that change everything. 30 seconds. That's all it took to create one of the most talked about moments in pop culture history. 30 seconds that neither Taylor Swift nor Kanye West will ever forget. 30 seconds that reminded us all that live television is unpredictable, that celebrities are human, and that sometimes the most significant moments are the ones nobody planned. What do you think? Was there any way this incident could have been handled better? Should Kanye have been removed from the venue? Did the controversy actually help or hurt both of their careers in the long run? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories about the moments that shaped pop culture history.